Hello, folks. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've been in here. We had our Pyrenees. She got really sick and everything, and we thought she was going to get well. We had her to the vet about 2 or 3 times, and finally, the third time we took her in there, they done blood tests and stuff like that on her, and that was the same day that we had to have her put down because they said she had cancer of her. She had a big tumor in her throat here, and it was growing fast because she got to where she wasn't eating and she just lost a lot of weight. She got down to 86 pounds, and that's the reason that I haven't been on here, folks, because I kind of thought that I was probably losing my dog, and I've been kind of down in the dumps over that, and that's the reason that I haven't been on here doing any videos lately, because there for a couple weeks I had to take care of her. We wasn't sure what was going on. My husband said he didn't want to keep spending a lot of money, trying to figure out what was wrong with her, because where we take her to, folks, it's real expensive. Because my husband went back over there and he got her some stomach pills because she kept acting like she was going to throw up before we found out about that big tumor. And so Tuesday we had to go ahead and have her put down over it. But anyway, about a week before that, he'd got her some stomach pills, and they cost $60 for just 10 of them. And them vanished real quick, and she still didn't get no better. She just kept getting weaker, and she kind of acted like she was in dementia too, folks. You know how older people do when they go into dementia, and they really don't realize what's going on around them and things like that. Well, that's how she was. And she laid around depressed and everything, folks. So when we took her into the vet Tuesday, and he come back and told us what was wrong with her, um, I asked the vet, I said, do you think that it would be the best thing to go ahead and have her put down? And he said, yes, he thought so, because he said if we would have went ahead and brought her on home and continued trying to get her to get well, he said she probably would have passed away anyway. Because she had that big lump in her throat, folks, and she couldn't swallow food. So I didn't have any choice. We had to have her put down. And I think that was best for her, and I really think that she was ready to go. I told my husband, I said, I think she was waiting on us to give her permission to go, because she was just suffering, folks. You could tell when she walked around that she just felt lousy. She would hang her head down. I think her head hurt, and she probably had arthritis and everything, because she just turned 11 this month. So my husband went today, and he got her a thing of roses. And because this was her birth month, uh, he bought her a birthday cookie with icing on it. And we took Buddy down there with us down to her gravesite, which is over the hill there by the pond, for those of you that's been following my video. We have a tombstone down there that has Buddy and Saber both's names on it. Saber's going to be on this side over here, and Buddy's going to be on this side. And we had to go pick up a couple of friends to come up there and help us dig the hole for her and stuff too, folks. And me and my husband took a quilt and wrapped it around her. And so they took that quilt and packed her up the hill there. And after they got the hole dug and they put her in there. But I think that's what she wanted, folks, because when you would let her outside, she would go out there like she was looking for a special place. She was looking for a spot that if we didn't let her go, I think she was going to make sure that that happened herself. But me and my husband would always wind up getting worried about her, so uh, we would go out there and take the leash and get her and bring her back in and kind of keep an eye on her, and see what was going on. That was before we took her to the vet Tuesday. We had no idea that she had cancer, and like I told my husband, I said she probably had it so bad that it was starting to spread to other parts of her body. But they done a blood test and they done an x-ray because we thought that she might have gotten a hold of a foreign object, and had it stuck in her throat. But no, that's what it was, folks. It was a tumor that was growing quickly. And I think what if we would have had her, me and my husband said that she would have been dead in a week if we had not have made the choice to have her put down. So we just thought that it was best to go ahead and do that, because we didn't want to sit and watch her suffer like that. But hi, folks. I hope y'all are doing okay. For those of you that's been following my channel, and I wanted to tell y'all, I thank you for the subscribers and everything. And I hope you guys are still enjoying the videos. And I guess you guys thought that I left for good, but no, sometimes we have things that come up in life, that kind of drags us away from what we're doing, but it always winds up getting back to normal, eventually, and doing okay. I've been kind of sad, but folks, I just knew that that was going to happen eventually to her because, I mean, I didn't know she was going to get cancer, but I knew that she was going to wind up maybe with some kind of sickness because this was her 11th birth month, which would have made her 77 years old in dog years. So, yeah. It was pretty, it was time for her to go, folks. She just wasn't happy anymore. And she lost all interest in anything she liked doing. Because my husband would let her out there at the last. He let her out Monday afternoon, when he went down to the pond to do work, to see what she would do, and my husband said she didn't even follow him down there. And that's very unusual for her, because usually she likes to, go down to the pond and get in the pond sometimes because she'd be too hot. But like I told him, she was probably real weak from where she was eating. And she was probably just too weak to walk over the hill. That was our opinions. But yeah, I'm gonna later on get her some kind of little figurine. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, folks. If I get it, I'll share it with you. But I was going to get that and put it on her grave. She's got a thing of roses that he got today. So she's got that. And then The reason that we went down there today, folks, is because to her little grave is he spreaded some grass seeds, and I put some straw down on it so our grass would come back. Because when the guys dug the grave, it tore the ground up and tore up some of the grass and stuff. So we had to go ahead and sow the grass. But I tell you, folks, that hill going up that is really steep. You just about have to have a stick. Unless you're in good shape, you might be able to go up it real good. But if you're not in good shape, such as myself, because I don't exercise enough, you probably ought to have a stick to go up it. And if we ever wind up going down there, I'll show you all what it looks like. But I think that she's resting now, folks, and she's no longer suffering. But yeah, we don't have our big gentle giant anymore, folks. That's an unfortunate thing. I told Bobby here back a month ago, I said, I sure hope Saber keeps maintaining. And not long after I said that is when she started going downhill. And Bobby said he noticed whenever he put hard dog food out there in her room. See that door right here, folks? That was her room in there. She had heat in the winter time and air in the summer. So she didn't live like a typical dog did in a dog house. She had it made, folks. But, they're just like us, folks. They get old too, and they start developing health problems. But anyway, I wanted to get on here and I wanted to share that with you all. And I hope that you're doing good, folks. And I hope that you didn't give up on me. And I hope that you have a good night and a blessed night too. You got this, folks. You're awesome. Bye-bye.